The ads from the golden age of television featured catchy jingles and slogans that were far more than just infectious earworms. While it's challenging to narrow down the list of the most iconic TV ad slogans and catchphrases of the past, the ones we're about to cover are undeniably memorable. Chances are you'll feel like you were instantly teleported right back to your favorite decade. Facts First presents old TV commercial lines and slogans that we'll never forget. McDonald's, you deserve a break today. When it first appeared in a commercial for the burger franchise in 1971, the catchphrase, "You deserve a break today," became McDonald's first real slogan. It's so iconic that Ad Age ranked it as one of the best and most effective jingles of the 1900s. Even if you weren't a big fan of the Golden Arches food, McDonald's tapped into something truly special when they came up with the phrase. They knew we all felt tired of being overworked and underappreciated. So yeah, it was just a commercial, but it felt like somebody was finally saying out loud what all the working class folks were thinking. Alka-Seltzer, Plop, Plop, Fizz, Fizz. Father of ER actress Juliana Margulies, Paul Margulies helped coin this famous ad campaign slogan when he was working as an executive on Madison Avenue. The catchy jingle was written by Tom Dawes, a former band member of the musical group The Circle. Dawes would go on to tour with the Beatles after he managed to score a massive hit with a cover of the Paul Simon track Red Rubber Ball. Life cereal. Hey, Mikey, he likes it. Anyone who's ever had a little brother who was a picky eater, or has been a parent to one, knows just how relatable this iconic 1972 ad for Life cereal was. Child star John Gilchrist played the titular Mikey, a young boy who was a legend with his brothers for his stubborn unwillingness to eat practically anything. Then, all of a sudden, something inexplicable happened. Mikey picked up a spoon and devoured a bowl of Life cereal, as his family members watched in awe. While he was guzzling down the breakfast cereal, Mikey didn't utter a single word, but he didn't need to. The look on his face spoke volumes. He liked it. Alka-Seltzer, I can't believe I ate the whole thing. In this timeless 1972 commercial, a middle-aged man named Ralph mournfully proclaims his disbelief that he ate the whole thing, as his sardonic wife suggested he should pop a couple of Alka-Seltzer tablets to quell his indigestions. Band-Aid. I'm stuck on Band-Aid because Band-Aid stuck on me. It might sound strange to anyone born in the 80s, 90s, or aughts, but back in the 70s, one of the most memorable TV jingles came from a Band-Aid ad. Johnson & Johnson was onto something when they somehow cracked the secret code to get kids excited about skinning their elbows. If that wasn't mind-blowing enough, wait until you realize the jingle was written by Barry Manilow, and the boy featured in the ad was none other than a young John Travolta. American Express. Don't leave home without it. In 1973, actor Karl Malden, best known for his role on the hit cop drama The Streets of San Francisco, took on the job of spokesperson for American Express. Malden continued to hold down that role until 1994. Even if you weren't quite old enough to know what the heck a traveler's check was in the 70s, every time you saw Malden's glowing mug on the TV screen while delivering those words of warning, you no doubt felt like an idiot for contemplating leaving your home without your checkbook. Coca-Cola, it's the real thing. For the majority of us who watched too much TV in the 1970s, the pinnacle of the peace, love, and tie-dye generation was this 1971 Coca-Cola commercial, which featured a bunch of long-haired hippy-dippy types gathered on a hillside singing in perfect harmony about buying a carbonated sugar water for one another. It's still hard not to feel something when we think about all those super serious, solemn faces singing "It's the Real Thing." Keep America Beautiful, the crying Native American. This PSA from 1971 had one super simple message: keep America beautiful. To drive that message home by dialing up the guilt, an actor named Iron Eyes Cody was called in to dress up in traditional Native American attire and sit in a canoe that becomes increasingly more polluted. As he mournfully ponders the landscape around him, a passenger pulls up next to him and hurls a bag of trash out their window, while the narrator informs us, people start pollution, people can stop it. After that line was uttered, the camera panned in on old Iron Eyes Cody's face to reveal a tear slowly falling down his cheek. Tootsie Pop, how many licks does it take? The classic Tootsie Pop commercial from 1970 asked a question many of us over 50 years later are still contemplating. In the ad, a young boy sets out on a mission to get to the bottom of a mystery that's been plaguing him. All he wants to know is how many licks it would take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop. After asking several creatures that question to no avail, he comes upon a scholarly, albeit impatient owl who gives his pop 3 licks before chomping it down. In the years that have gone by since this iconic ad first hit our picture tubes, there have been numerous studies attempting to find the real answer to the question. Everyone from researchers at the University of Michigan to classrooms full of high school students have come up with numbers that are all over the place. The low estimate puts the number at 144, while on the high end of things, it can take up to 411 licks to get to the candy's soft, artificially flavored chocolatey center. As it turns out, the world may never know. Bell system. Reach out and touch someone. In the 70s, not everyone was addicted to their phones. In fact, Bell System felt the need to come up with a catchy slogan to convince the masses to use their phones more. What they came up to help dial up interest in phone use was pretty unforgettable. In 1979, they launched their Reach Out and Touch Someone ad campaign, which reminded us all just how easy it was to reconnect with a family member or old friend who was now living far away. Dr. Pepper, be a pepper. Why was this 1977 soda ad so effective? Well, Dr. Pepper did more than simply just create one of the most catchy ad jingles of the 70s. Their ad also made purchasing a Dr. Pepper seem more like a lifestyle choice. Back then, just about everyone and their little brother wanted to be a pepper. Peppers were cool, fun-loving folks that seemed to have an overall zeal for life. Did anyone know what the heck a pepper was? No, but we all wanted to be one, and that's all that mattered. Charmin, please don't squeeze the Charmin. Anyone who remembers these ads no doubt recalls how poor Mr. Whipple, played by Dick Wilson, was just trying to run his grocery store without everyone in town coming in to try to cop a feel of his toilet paper without buying any. This was probably not an issue that many grocers were actually facing in the 70s, but the sheer ridiculousness of the concept was a significant part of what made the Don't Squeeze the Charmin commercials so iconic. Meow mix. Meow, 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 meow. See what I did there? All we had to do is utter those 4 words in sing-song fashion, and now you have the Meow Mix song stuck in your head. Don't worry, it'll be there all day. The Meow Mix jingle is so infectiously catchy, it manages to become a full-on earworm just by repeating the same phrase over and over again. Frosted Flakes. They're great. Created in 1951, Tony the Tiger was initially one of 4 cartoon creatures dreamed up by Kellogg's to sell their Frosted Flakes breakfast cereal. But Elmo the Elephant, Katie the Kangaroo, and Newt the Gnu didn't hold a candle to our boy Tony. After Tony made the cat-like leap off the cereal box to the TV screen, that's when he started uttering his iconic catchphrase. Now it's time to hear from you. Which is your favorite of these classic jingles? Let us know in the comments section below.